We recently had a vacation experience, and I think most people when planning a Disney trip are wondering about this. Our family of 5 decided to split our Disney vacation into 2 properties. One was on Disney property, the other was off Disney property. I wanted to see what the real differences were in real time and what was the best experience overall. While we were at each property, we would go to 2 different Disney parks. The 2 properties we chose were Disney's Beach Club and Sheraton Vistana Villas. I have tours of these properties on my channel. I'll post the links below. The first half of our vacation, we stayed at the Sheraton in a 2-bedroom villa and chose Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom for our park days. We changed hotels midweek over to the Beach Club, and in order to take advantage of the proximity to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, we chose those 2 for our park days. Our Beach Club room was a standard resort view room. These are the factors I'm going to talk about in this video in order to compare these 2 hotel differences, and hopefully it helps you make decisions on your next vacation. Comfortability of the rooms, proximity and transportation to the parks, the perks from each hotel, dining, amenities, entertainment, the price, and parking fees. Now I'm going to briefly show you our experiences with each hotel, our experience going to the park each day, and show you a little bit of what each hotel has to offer on property. First, let's start with the Sheraton. This property is massive. It has 2 separate lobbies for check-ins, 28 buildings, 3 pools, 3 playgrounds, a marketplace, gym, and some shops. It has 2 restaurants, although 1 bar by the pool that was only open from 12 to 5 on Sundays. It has free parking. The pools were fantastic, very family and kid oriented. 1 pool area had a splash pad while the other had a pirate ship they could play on. They did offer towels by the pool and life jackets for the kiddos. One thing I noticed at the pools is that they didn't have many lifeguards on duty, only a few by the big water slide. While looking at the activity sheet offered by the hotel, they did have stuff going on all throughout the day. Crafts, games, hair braiding, face painting, nightly movies by one of the pools. Our building was located near a pool and a playground. I felt like the property placed most of the buildings near a pool, so no matter where you stayed, it was by a pool. However, not all the buildings were so close to the market or gym, so most buildings had a bit of a walk to go to if they wanted to visit those areas. Now let's take a look at our room. I really loved our setup. We stayed in a 2-bedroom villa, and it gave our family of 5 plenty of room to spread out and really organize our vacation stuff to make it feel more like home, instead of living out of a suitcase all week. It also had 2 bathrooms, and yet our kids still only wanted to use ours. Can anyone else relate? I loved having this jetted tub, especially after a day at the parks. It was nice having the kitchen available, although we never used it except for the microwave and coffee maker because we were hardly there. It was nice having a dining area to eat, and we utilized that quite a bit as well, mostly to put all our stuff on. And I love drinking coffee on our screen balcony in the mornings. I think the best feature for our family was having a washer and dryer right there in our unit. Our family goes through quite a bit of clothes, especially on vacation. I liked having it in the room as opposed to having to go down the hall or to another building to do laundry. And leaving the laundry there and going back and forth. Just the little things that save time on vacation makes a difference. Now I'll talk about our experience going to the parks from the hotel. I'll be honest, I was very worried about driving to the parks from our hotel. I've never done it before. We've always stayed on Disney property because I've seen videos of people lining up to go under the Disney World sign, so I was super nervous. Our hotel was about 20 minutes from Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. The Sheraton did offer shuttles to the park. The times were very limited, so we decided to drive ourselves to the park and not have to rely on someone else picking us up later in the day. We wanted to be on our time, not the hotel shuttle time. Both park days we were up early enough that we didn't hit any traffic. Now, our family operates on rope drop time. when we go to the parks, meaning we are there before the park opens. If you don't utilize this strategy, I highly recommend it. You will be surprised how much you can accomplish in the first hour and a half of the park opening. Our first day was Animal Kingdom. We got there early enough to get good parking. The park opened at 8 and we were there by 7:30. We could see the security from our car and didn't have to walk very far, which was super nice. We were the first few rows of standard parking. You could upgrade to preferred, but honestly we didn't need to. And I'm glad we didn't. So not a lot of people weren't there yet. Fast forward to the end of the day because this video is just about comparing the two hotel experiences and going to the parks. We were able to get to the car and leave the parking lot swiftly and be back at the hotel within 20 minutes. Not bad at all. The next day we went to Magic Kingdom, which is a different experience in parking. Instead of parking and walking up to the gates, you park at the Ticket and Transportation Center and ride the monorail in, which is always fun. Because of this, we decided to be there by 7:15 before the park opened at 8. We leave our hotel again with no traffic. As we pulled up to the parking gate, we decided to do preferred parking over standard parking for that day. Which, side note, if you didn't know already, you just pay for parking once a day, so you can leave and come back and even go to another park with the same pass if you'd like. We were in the first row of preferred parking, so our plan worked again. We walked about 5 minutes to the security for the monorail, and then we waited about 5 minutes for the monorail to take us into Magic Kingdom. Overall, the parking situation was not as bad as I pictured in my head. I think if you get there early enough, you won't have any problems. As the day went on, I could see the monorail lines getting longer, but we got almost right on and into the line. Fast forward to the end of the day, we closed down Magic Kingdom after an unfortunate stuck in line at Space Station as the ride closed down for a bit situation after the fireworks show. I had 2 of my kiddos with me and left my phone with my husband, of course. So that was fun. Thank you to the kind lady that let me use your phone if you're watching this. Getting back to the car was super easy after the parks. We did wait about 10 minutes for the monorail to pick us up, which wasn't too bad. Our proximity to the car parked was so close in preferred parking, it definitely made a difference at the end of the day. We didn't have to walk far at all. After that, it took us about 25 minutes to get home again. We did hit some Orlando traffic and had to take a different route back to the hotel, which allowed us to notice that parking is limited at the Sheraton at the end of the day. We had to park a little bit farther away from our hotel room, which was kind of a pain at the end of the day when you've been walking the whole day. The next day was our hotel switch day. We switched to the beach club. Upon arrival, I was so excited. I love Disney properties. This was my first time staying at this resort and I was excited to experience all it had to offer. First, we had breakfast reservations at Cape Cafe, which was located right off the lobby. It was a character dining breakfast, a great way to start off the beach club stay. I highly recommended it. Next, we checked into our room. It was a standard 2-queen bedroom. Really nothing special about it. We felt pretty cramped after being in that 2-bedroom villa for 4 days. The first thing I noticed about the bathroom is when you open the door, it almost hit the toilet, so that bathroom was a bit cramped too. If you've seen my reviews before, I talk about humidity in the rooms. And after one of us took a shower, the humidity in the room definitely went up. The fan in the bathroom was hardly working. I just don't like to feel like I'm sleeping in a jungle with my sleep. I'm sure you can relate. So I was bummed about that. The porch area was okay, nothing special, quite small. And after turning the couch into the trundle bed for one of my kiddos, the room lacked sitting space. The Keurig was actually nice and quieter than normal Keurigs, which was nice for not waking up the kids if we woke up earlier than them. We all slept well for the most part, but my middle child talks in her sleep sometimes, so it did wake us up a few nights. We are missing that 2-bedroom setup for sleep time for sure. I liked that the beach club had laundry facilities, but I did have to walk quite a bit to get there. It took most of the morning, one morning, to do one load because the dryers didn't dry very well. So I missed out on some morning pool time because of it. Next, we decided to check out the rest of the hotel and head to the pool. It had lots of dining options, an arcade, a gym, and just check out this pool. Best pool on Disney property, hands down. It even has sand in it. It kept my kids busy all day long. We really liked the water slide. Our family spent a lot of time there because the smaller water slide is right near the bigger water slide, so all our kiddos could utilize them at the same time. There is no height requirement, and the kids can use life jackets on them, which I thought was kind of cool. If the kids were too scared of the big water slide, they could just go down and use the little water slide. The pool had really great restaurant bar, and servers came around to take your order, which was kind of nice. You didn't have to sit in line and wait for your food to be ready. The lifeguards were really attentive. There were plenty all around the pool. I really liked that. It made me feel safe with my kids in the pool. The pool also has towels for you to use as well as life jackets for the littles. Our parks from the beach club were Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Epcot was literally a 5-minute walk to the resort entrance in the back of the park, and we could ride either the Skyliner or friendship boats to Hollywood Studios. To have a little fun and to test this out later, we rode the Skyliner, which was actually a lot of fun. It allowed us to see different resorts, and they go a lot faster than they look. Our kids actually thought of it as kind of like a ride. I like to call it the people mover off land. I like that even though we were far from other resorts, we could hop on the Skyliner and go explore new territories. It did take us about 30 minutes to get to Hollywood Studios via the Skyliner. So when we got to Hollywood Studios, we took the friendship boats back to our hotel. That only took about 10 minutes, so we decided that that would be our mode of transportation in the morning to Hollywood Studios. Our first day to Hollywood Studios from the Disney Resort was a breeze. Not to mention because we were resort guests, we got to enter the park 30 minutes earlier than anyone else. We got Genie Plus to save some time in lines. Because we stayed at a resort, we were able to make our first selection at 7 a.m. as opposed to park opening time, which allowed us to book a time for Slinky Dog. Side note, only a couple minutes after we secured our Slinky Dog lightning lane, it was sold out the rest of the day. So unfortunately that day, only the resort guests were able to secure spots for Slinky Dog while everyone else had to stand in line. I really liked having the ability to get in the park early. We were able to knock out one ride and stand in line for Mickey's Runaway before the park even opened. Fast forward to the end of the day, we closed that park down too. We really optimize our time in the parks. We get so much accomplished. After Hollywood Studios, we just exited the gate and walked right over to the Friendship Boat Dock, which was right outside the gates of Hollywood Studios. We had to wait for 2 boats because it was the end of the day. There was a line, but it was okay because they were sending them pretty frequently at the end of the park day. It was kind of nice to relax on a boat on the way back to the hotel. It was very peaceful and it only took about 10 minutes back. The next day was Epcot. Man, I fell in love with this park. It was my first time there and I absolutely loved it. We walked right over to the back resort guest entrance, 30 minutes early because we were on resort. We secured Frozen Lightning Lane for $3.15, and we thought it would be a good idea to do Remy's Ratatouille because the ride was right there at the back entrance. But so did everyone else. We had to stand in line first thing for that ride, which wasn't that bad because later on in the day there were 2-hour waits. Even though we had a little line wait right away, I think being a resort guest still gave us the advantage for one of the most popular rides that day. If I had to do it over again, I would have gone and stood in line at Frozen and got a lightning lane for Ratatouille. Fast forward to the end of the day, we closed that park down too. Because we were a resort guest, we stood at the back of the park to watch the show as opposed to in the front with everybody else. It was perfect. No crowds, no one near us. We stood at a table and had a yummy wine slushie to finish the night. After the show, we exited by the France Pavilion Resort guest entrance, and we were back at our hotel in 8 minutes. So that was our experience with the on and off Disney park hotels and going to the park from each one. I am a positive person. I'm just grateful that my family has the ability to take these vacations, so you're not going to hear a lot of negativity in my videos. Just helpful advice to help you create amazing vacations. So let's go down the list and review the factors and compare them for each hotel. Comfortability of the rooms. Sheraton. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. We loved having the extra space and 2-bedroom setup with laundry inside in the rooms. Beach Club, we had the smaller room. The humidity plays a part after showers. It wasn't a special hotel room by any means, just a normal hotel room. We were in close quarters with each other. Not as great sleep, so I would give this room in particular a 6.5. Proximity and transportation to the parks. Obviously, Sheraton was not super close to the parks, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. We did have the extra cost of parking those 2 days, so I would rate this a 6.8. The Beach Club had multiple avenues of transportation to the 2 parks we were by. They try to make it as easy and inconvenient as possible to stay at their hotels. So I would have to rate this a 10 out of 10. Perks. For this video, we are just talking about the Disney parks, so I want to touch about the perks at the hotel in reference to the Disney parks. The Sheraton only offered a limited shuttle as a perk for staying at their hotel resort. They had vacation planning services and tickets to the parks, but not a huge perk, so I would rate the Sheraton a 5.6. Staying at the Beach Club, you have amazing perks for the parks. You have a 30-minute early entry as a resort guest, and on some days, they even have extended hours at the parks for resort guests. If you buy Genie Plus, you have the ability to secure your first Lightning Lane at 7 a.m., which saved us hours of time standing in line for Slinky Dog. The Disney resorts are top, so I would give the Beach Club a 9.5 out of 10. Dining. The Sheraton only had 2 dining options, and one option was only open limited times. But they also had a market with a coffee shop, but the food was just okay. The one restaurant was also offered online ordering, but it was super confusing to use, so I gave the Sheraton a 6.1. Beach Club had multiple dining options as well as character dining, quick service, a marketplace, and mobile ordering. The food was outstanding and the drinks were really well made. There were so many quick service options as well as table service options. I gave the Beach Club a 9.2. Amenities. Both resorts offer the same amenities: a pool, a marketplace, gym, and activities. Because the pool at the Beach Club was far superior and offered an arcade to play in, I rate the Beach Club a 9.2 and the Sheraton an 8.2. Entertainment. Both resorts offered plenty to do throughout the day. Whether it was fun by the pool or movies under the stars, I rate them both a 9.0. Price. This category will be out of $5 signs. Sheraton is super affordable. I gave this one a $1 sign. Our 2-bedroom villa was averaging about $179 a night. You can really save some money at this resort. Beach Club is a deluxe Disney resort, the highest priced tier, and rooms for this hotel can be thousands a night. Our room averaged about $900 or $700 a night. We had the lowest price room on property. I would give this a $4 signs. Parking fees. Both resorts included parking, so we didn't have to pay extra for that. While the convenience and Disney perks at the Beach Club far outweighed the Sheraton, we liked having the bigger room and driving to the parks was not that bad. I think if we had a 2-bedroom suite at the Beach Club, we would be having a different conversation. But we are also talking about spending thousands of dollars more for that special type of room at a Disney resort. The 2-bedroom at the Sheraton was affordable, and it was nice to have the laundry and extra space. I would do both hotels again. We enjoyed our time at both hotels. I think when it comes to planning your vacation, weigh your options and find what works best for you. If it's saving money, or perks of the parks, or just being in the Disney experience. Just know that no matter what you choose for your family, it's only a place to lay your head at the end of the night. Because when you step foot in those Disney parks, your day becomes that much more special and nothing else matters. Don't put too much pressure on staying at Disney resorts, because staying at an off-site hotel will also contribute to an amazing vacation with your family. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you found it super helpful and informing. Be sure to pass it to all your Disney friends who are planning vacations as well.